Hello.
Yo, 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 Forrest.
Hello. We hope you had a absolutely delightful Christmas.
Oh, I
We
bet you're
hope
feeling
you've had
stuffed, peeps.
yeah, an absolute shenanigan and a half. Okay. Well, Matt is currently drinking a Lucasade.
Oh, I am. I literally did that. I looked like I was sponsored by them in that moment. I was like, oh,
Oh, let me just make
yeah.
sure the text is at the camera. You've had a haircut?
I have, yeah. I buzzed it off.
Wow. But we're
Yeah.
looking like we're the Buzz Brothers. Look
We
at
look,
us.
we look almost identical. I am beginning to look more like you.
We got the same beard is working on.
Yeah, actually,
Wow,
that's
the
true.
buzz cut.
Hang on, that's really true.
Look at this going on.
That's what's happened with this podcast is that we've been seeing each other far much more than we probably should, and we're just like becoming each other. So now I just look like you.
You just gone to the hairdressers, shown a picture of my face, and gone, yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I did this. I do my hair myself. You know that, right?
I know, mate. It's incredible. I couldn't trust myself. I'd have no hair or no face. There'd be no. There's no middle ground. My whole face is clogged off, mate.
No idea what the back of my head looks like. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm not showing you. Don't you dare. Honestly, I'm a bit worried. I think I've not done it right, but I'm sure it's fine. It's fine.
And that's why I could never do it myself. So do you not go to barbers at all then?
So I obviously pre-pandemic used to, obviously, and then just lockdown happened, and this became a bit of the lockdown project, which I didn't shout about it because obviously we spent the whole of lockdown together on the screens working together every day, but I never really told you about it. But yeah,
Wow,
but I do my old my sides as a 2 and a 3. Oh.
Christ alive. Jesus. That made me...
Oh, Rachel, you made a jump. You made Forrest jump.
That literally made me jump on my... That has got to be that's real footage in itself.
She was just literally standing there just watching out of shot.
I've just had poopy pants.
I've just made it poopy pantsy time.
Poopy pants time. That was... So what was she jumping at? What was that noise about?
Oh, Thea just turned up. She just turned up next to her.
Oh, Thea
jump.
made her jump.
Made her
and then
jump.
in
Yeah,
response to that, Rachel literally terrified me. I thought someone had died in the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's all happening.
all
So, but
happening.
what's happening in this pod then, Matt?
Well, okay. Well, here we are. We're just going to do a little highlights.
Review.
There isn't. Okay, so we are here to literally just celebrate the year. We're going to... Oh, did you hear that? Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow, a bit of harmony.
Thanks.
Oh,
Thank you.
hello.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting me to sing. I'm still trying to regain my voice. Anyway, this is our highlights episode. We're going to go through the best bits of what we've covered this year. We're going to go through our favourite movies that we've covered this year, our least favourite movie we've covered this year so far in the MCU, and not even our wild cards as well that we've been doing. We'll go through kind of just with there's all kinds of fun things for us to go through. Best moment, funniest moment. We've got things like that. We're also going to go through a little game of Would You Rather as well. Me and Forrest are going to play Marvel Would You Rather and just have a chat. I love doing highlights episodes. We haven't done one in flipping absolutely ages.
Got a lot of highlights. I love the highlights.
It always feels
So
more
many
relaxed.
highlights.
It feels way more chill, a little bit more free flowing,
Oh.
a little bit more free.
So what are your 2022 Marvel highlights?
Oh my
Straight from the back.
God, just straight off the bat there, mate.
So what did we saw? We saw Thor: Love and Thunder.
We did.
We've seen Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness this year.
We did.
We've seen Spider-Man: No Way Home this year.
Yep.
Fucking hell, they're wow.
Was that this year?
It was it?
No, I thought that was last year.
Spider-Man? No, it was early this year, wasn't it?
No, that was definitely last year.
Was it?
Definitely.
What's the film called?
No, far from home.
The one with all three of them in it. Was that
Yeah.
last year? Oh, no, 2019 was Far From Home. It can't be Far From Home.
Not far from home. No way home. No way home.
No Way Home.
God damn it! So many homes.
Jeez. So all the homes. 2021. Yeah, okay. Well, we didn't see Spider-Man this year. That never
It
happened.
felt like this year.
Yeah, we did. So what we seen? Doctor Strange, definitely.
Yep.
We definitely saw Thor: Love of Thunder.
Yep.
And then what was the latest one we saw?
Wakanda forever, my friend.
Wakanda Forever. That's it. Three
Wakanda
Marvel.
forever.
So yeah, so I think
It's not a huge amount of blockbuster movies that have come out. Obviously, there's been an inundation of Disney Plus content in terms of Marvel that came out.
Your highlight of She-Hulk will definitely.
I mean, we've spoken about it a lot, and obviously, I'm not going to spend this whole highlights episode talking about it because I've said what I needed to say.
It's like literally like mentioning She-Hulk is like my magic red button just to piss Matt off. That really
Jesus.
extremely quickly. If I just mention She-Hulk, it's like we're not going to start that again.
I can't, honestly. Oh no. Yes, carry on.
So how did it start? What did the year was Thor: Love and Thunder the first one?
I think it was. It was in the summer, wasn't it?
No, Doctor Strange was
Doctor
first.
Strange was first.
Doctor Strange opened it up. Now that was it was a great film with really weird bits in it.
I remember you being in a weird mood,
It was I found it
like
weird,
a
man.
really weird mood about it.
It was because it was just a bit. I remember the music note fight in it, weren't there? And
Oh, yeah.
it was had the music notes. It was just a bit weird. I don't know if I gelled with it at all. It was because wasn't it oh my god, who was behind it? The original Spider-Man dude, weren't it? Sam
Raimi, mate.
Sam Raimi, and
Yeah.
he's you like that vibe, whereas I'm not sure. I wasn't really about it. For me, it's a bit weird.
I think the horror aspect of what Sam Raimi tried to put together in it, I quite enjoyed. It was quite fresh, but I think it wasn't really resonated across the board in terms of MCU fans. It was a mixed bag. It was like, it started off in terms of like, MCU movies 2022. That came off on a very mixed bag situation when it really should have been so exciting because it was the first movie of the the multiverse being opened up and all this kind of repercussions from Spider-Man and it was, there were moments it hit, there were moments it was a massive miss as well. But you, mate, I do remember you being really pumped for it before we went in. We usually go to a pub, right? So we go and have a few drinks. We talk about, what we expect the movie's going to happen. We have some food. We talk about, we pump ourselves up. We're ready to go. We get in, we sit down. And honestly, I do remember like turning to you and like 30 minutes in. And you almost had like this weird, like, gawp frown on your face. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm meant to be feeling in these moments.
I don't know. I tell you what, it is one that I want to watch again because I want to see what was it that did I not enjoy it? Was it my kind of thing? What was it? So I want to watch it again, which we will get to do because we get to watch them through. But it was, but also the horror elements are even worse now if you look at how good it was. Horror was done in Wakanda.
Yeah,
with Namor.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
so I mean, like, it's even bad.
That's a good point.
Even worse now. But yeah, so that was the first one we got hit with in the year. Then Thor: Love and Thunder,
which is, apparently the people of Thor are putting Oscar nomination requests in.
Yeah, yeah. That was. I think that one got a lot more hate than it deserved. I think there was grounds to enjoy it. There was enjoyable moments in it, but the comedy was utter shite.
It was terrible.
It was like literally.
Oh God, I can't believe I said that.
It relied on goats going bah, and I was like, "Wow, we're hitting all time low, mate."
It was really forced. It really didn't hit, did it? It's a shame. It's a shame. Oh God, I'm a genuine thinking about it. I'm actually quite gutted about it because I wanted to really love it, and I wanted to obviously because I'm a massive fan of Ragnarok. Um, I wanted it to be like Ragnarok, and it just wasn't. And there were just different types of performances in there. And I think, okay, if you're casting Christian Bale as a villain, just flipping utilize him. Show more of Christian Bale. Show more of Gore. Make more issue of Gore as a villain. Like he is the God Butcher.
Yeah.
That just needed more. Honestly, I wanted Christian Bale to be way more threatening, to be way more scary. And I think there were moments when he was achieving that, but then there were just these moments where he was fighting against a comedy movie. You know, he was fighting against a Taika Waititi comedic movie, and it didn't work. And it was a shame. But there were good. There were good moments. There were good moments.
It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was a meh movie. It was a meh. It was a meh. Which is quite funny when you think of his Mew. It was a very Mew film.
It was a
Mew film. And then we went to we went from Mew to fucking gold standard Wakanda Forever.
They went for it, didn't they?
That was peak Marvel. That
so good. So good. I mean, obviously, we've discussed this again, but on Lights Camera Rant. So if you haven't listened to it, do go listen to Lee's podcast because we talk about that in length. But we also mention it in a few podcasts that we've done previously as well. But it just hits different, and obviously it works from the loss of T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman in real life, and so it's got a huge gravitas to it naturally. But like you say, the way that they introduce Namor, the way that they introduce the villain, the way that they use this horror aspect, the singing that they have in it, every component of what you expect from a superhero movie is there, but it's done differently. It tastes different. Do you know what I mean? It's just wow, it's so good.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredibly moving. Like the sheer silence for the Marvel brand logo coming on stage. The Marvel logo coming on screen when they just had pure silence and just that kind of wind blowing was just like absolutely
just heartbreaking.
That would always stick with me. That was brilliant. But yeah, so we ended with that, and like we say, we had some TV moments. She-Hulk. TV moments as well. What else do we have apart from She-Hulk? Moonlight this year?
Moon Knight was this year. Werewolf by Midnight as well. We've got. I mean, there's literally loads. I don't want us to talk about every single one because, and again, we've spoken about it this year. We have discussed at length about the quality, the quantity over quality issue that MCU have pushed out this year, and apparently, I've heard that they are currently responding to that and looking at the timeline of Phase 6.
Yes, I've also seen this, and I wonder whether there's going to be a couple of films that get the axe.
Yeah.
Such as, given what we know about Blade's terrible production so far, I wonder whether they will eventually axe Blade. Which wouldn't be great for the fact it's got a big old fan base, Blade, doesn't it? Big old load of interest. So I don't know if they would, or whether they'll just kick it much further down the can and down the road and just say, look, there's bigger and better projects we want to do initially, and then we'll come back around to it.
Yeah, I think it's just been generally for MCU fans and actually just in DC fans as well. It's just been a really up and down year, and it feels like it's not. Almost like a rebirth, a reborn, a new phase, whatever you want to call it. There is this sense of we're in a plateau at the moment, or we are simmering, waiting for a new golden age, effectively, of movies to come out. And we've got these kind of, some movies worked really well. When I say some, I mean one. Wakanda Forever worked really well. The others had hit and misses. It's been interesting, genuinely, and it's well for us, mate, to start a podcast in that year.
Yeah. What a year to start.
What a year to start.
So we started in May and we went straight into doing a podcast every week. And we are currently, we're just, in January, we'll be looking at Infinity War.
Yeah. So we're in the middle of phase 3.
It's just insane. Middle of phase 3. And we've got Infinity War on the way. An Endgame. And, there's some big uns coming.
Do you know what? It's been, since we started, the podcast, we watch movies. Me and Forrest watch movies all the time. We go to cinema and it's usually a superhero movie, and we talk and discuss. And there was one time we just went, hey, this feels like this would be cool if we just had a little podcast and just, spoke about it and stuff. And I've always wanted to have a podcast. You always wanted to do a little podcast. Why don't we just throw ourselves into another oversubscribed platform and talk about superheroes? But it feels the right time, the right year to do the whole going back to the beginning and talking about the excitement over the beginning and the good bits, the bad bits, and go through a kind of nostalgic kind of sphere as well when we're going through it. And we can talk about the movies that come out this year and sort of compare and contrast. And it's been genuinely an eye-opener for me this year, and it's been something that I think, actually, if I didn't have this, how would I vocalize genuinely all these thoughts? What would I do with it? Because where would it go? And what's been really, really awesome with this is that this year we've kind of cultivated listeners, dear listeners, you, my dear listener, you, my dear listener. But there is a huge vocal community out there of superhero fans. One of which, we went into MCM Comic Con, didn't we? In October, and had honestly the best time, the best day. We spent all those months talking, about the podcast, talking about all these movies, talking to other listeners, getting emails back, but actually physically going to a space where there were other like-minded people, and we got to ask them all those questions. I think, actually, if you haven't listened to it, the MCM Comic Con episode is on our stream, so do go and listen to it if you haven't listened to it. We interview loads of people about their questions about Marvel, but that is, I think, for me, beginning to be what the culture of this podcast is. I want this. This is a place where we can not only share our own thoughts, mate, but obviously share the values and the thoughts of other people, and get those contrasts. And this, I'm on a rant here, but we don't see eye to eye in everything that we talk about, right? And that's again the reason why we love doing this podcast, is that we always tend to, at least in every film, have opposing views on something. And that's important to vocalize as well. It's a huge scope of talking, from an MCU standpoint as well.
Although we both thoroughly agree that Eternals is a hot mess.
I can't, honestly, when we get to that movie,
we're going to need a lot. I tell you what, if you're listening, or perhaps you own your own podcast and you are a fan of the Eternals film, or you love the Eternals from the comics, or whatever it might be, get in touch with us, because we are going to need to collaborate on that specific episode, just so it's not an hour worth of dog shit of me and Matt just trashing. We're going to need someone to give us a bit more of a comic book POV from it, or to give us their wrong opinion that it's a good film. That's what we're going to do.
I love that.
But just echoing those thoughts. It's incredible. Started in May. We got, I think we're just over 30 podcasts now.
Yeah.
It's, we are, in lots of different countries. We've got listeners now. Just had a look in the last week. We've had more listeners in Canada than we've had listeners in the UK, of which we're based. which is just which is just amazing news. So we got hello Canada, hello America, hello Australia. We've got listeners. So yeah, just thank you. Thank you for listening to us. We've got plenty more to go, but we want to talk about highlights and talk about our favourite moments. So, favourite film that we've covered so far, Matt?
Favourite film? It's got to be Deadpool.
Deadpool
for me. Yeah. In terms of the and it was definitely the highest rated movie I gave. I think it was 92. I think, and that's the highest one that I've given. And in terms of all the films that we've covered, Deadpool kind of hit in a way that was as a packaged movie just worked so incredibly well. But obviously, I think the perfect movies are yet to come. I think from the MCU.
Yeah, there's some absolute bang. I think for me, my favourite has got to be the first Guardians of the Galaxy. The fact that it establishes my favourite superheroes in the MCU. It's just a fantastic film anyway. But also, it's kind of where our original, if we go right back to day one of the podcast, we're originally going to be called the Guardians of the Multiverse. So in the whole first,
I can't believe we were going to do that.
in the first episode, we call ourselves Guardians of the Multiverse. You know, we had this whole thing.
We didn't just say we're Guardians of the Multiverse. We were so confident about it.
Yeah,
we're the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Wait, this is us. This is an original name we came up with on the fly. We're well happy. And then it was pointed out very, very quickly that Guardians of the Multiverse is actually a thing. It's actually a thing in Marvel.
It really is.
And so therefore we had to absolutely avoid the copyright.
I think it would have been difficult.
Court, yeah. We could have gone to court quite quickly. So we changed that to the Don't Be a Hero podcast, and which was brilliant because the very first podcast we did, if we could look at Iron Man, and we looked at the character of what's his fucking name? So long ago.
Oh God, I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You do know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Yusuf.
You know, yeah, Yusuf. That's it, Yusuf, who is our very first hero in a film.
Yes.
But we you know, he goes boldly out of that cave, shoots up a load of shit. Is not scared whatsoever. But ultimately, we would never do that. So we are the Don't Be a Hero podcast. Don't be that idiot. Don't be a Yusuf.
Don't be Yusuf. Speaking of which, you know, as we're thinking back again, what was your best theory that you came up with in the movies that we've so far reviewed?
Best theory? I think the best theory I have yet to make is the theory of it was a theory that I made in the Deadpool podcast, and I was talking about how they would bring in characters, and I can't remember any more about it was I think we were talking about bringing in Ant-Man. Ant-Man being paired with Deadpool,
yes,
as a means to bring Ant-Man outside of like PG-13 films.
That got some good responses on Instagram as well.
Got some
good comments,
positive responses. I think that for me is my strongest theory yet. Of course, my favourite theory is Obadiah and Thanos. Didn't quite get the traction it deserved.
It really didn't. No. And it doesn't deserve the traction, mate. It doesn't. I can't. You gotta let go. He's gone, mate. He's not coming back.
I'm gonna leave that in 2022. But in 23, if Thanos is if Obadiah comes back into it, then shit me not, we will be podcasting till dawn, from dawn till night, dawn till dusk, dawn till dawn. Whatever I'm trying to say, we will be
dusk
podcasting.
Till dawn. I don't know. I don't know, mate. I don't know.
We'll be podcasting all day. No. Yeah. What's your favourite theory?
I think it's got to be the Ultron theory for me. It's got
Yes.
to be. It's got to be the theory that Ultron and knew about Thanos or Thanos was controlling Ultron as well during the film as a little puppet master, effectively, and that kind of "there's no strings on me" kind of situations on there. I don't know. I loved it. I think it got disproved pretty quickly by a few dear listeners, but it's fine. I'm gonna stick to it. I like it. Okay.
I actually, whilst you talk about it, it did get fairly shot down.
It did
and I
quite
remember
quickly
it got
when
shot-
when the pod came out.
It got shot down specifically by our friend Nathan, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So let me just.
I love you, Nathan. Cheers for that. Thanks, buddy.
I'm completely dispelling your thing here, but let's. What did Nathan say? Obviously, he's incorrect thoughts, but he said Matt's theory about Thanos and Ultron being connected is interesting.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. I'd always thought Ultron was aware that Thanos was out there because he knows everything humanity knows, and Iron Man saw the Chitauri and Dark Easter ships when he took the missile through the wormhole in Avengers 1. So that information would have been passed on. I wouldn't say it goes as far as Thanos being in control of Ultron. I'd always thought Thanos' "fine, I'll do it myself" was in relation to Loki failing with the Mind Stone, Ronan failing with the Power Stone, and as we later find out, Gamora and Nebula failing with the Soul Stone.
I mean, they're good theories. They're great.
Whatever, Nathan. But yeah,
fine.
no, I think it would have been. I think it would be amazing. And who's to say? I definitely think that, and we did talk about this when we looked at Age of Ultron, that Ultron had a tiny part when it should have been a much bigger. Like Ultron should have been brought into a few films.
100%.
Like much deserved character to be a much bigger. Like I think Obadiah and Ultron deserved more than one film.
I read a theory last week that they think they might be trying to weave James Spader back in as Ultron. How would that work Phase 5 or 6? I don't know, but there's variants. There are ways, obviously, but like
Problem
I don't
is,
know.
Without Tony Stark, it feels empty to bring him back.
That's true.
I mean? Like,
yeah, it's true.
You had to bring him back whilst Tony Stark was still here, surely. Otherwise,
they should have kept him while he was on a hot streak with Ultron. Shouldn't have just been a one thing. Shouldn't have been a one thing, but it was.
Obadiah should have been used in every Iron Man film for the trilogy.
100%.
He should have been an underlying threat for the whole of Iron Man 1, 2 and 3. And then eventually at the end of 3 bowing out and becoming Thanos. And then
what was your most ridiculous moment that I think was covered so far in the movies that we've done?
Weirdest moment? What? Weirdest moment in a film?
No, just either a ridiculous comment or a weird moment or a weird theory.
I think, to be fair, mate, it's got to be you. You for me is the eyebrow and hair obsession.
Oh, come on!
Early doors, mate.
That's not ridiculous.
Thor's eyebrows. Loki. I think you talked about Loki's eyebrows at one point. You're very fixated on the face.
Look, those are legitimate comments about the changes of style, the changes of aesthetic for a certain character, and also I do remember talking about Wanda in Ultron. I think about Wanda's hair just going a bit erratic in terms of the continuity of her hair. That's a legit thing to talk about. I think my personal view.
Talking about hair, and I'm gonna bring this round. But what I've just noticed is, remember at the beginning of the podcast I mentioned it. We talked about your hair.
Yeah,
we talked about your beard.
Yeah,
right. And in previous podcasts, I think even in the podcast for Nativity, we mentioned about The Office.
Oh yeah,
the American Office. Because what you know what I'm about to say.
I know
you have done the equivalent of Michael from The Office copying Ryan's goatee. You just trimmed your face exactly like mine. Going, yeah. Oh,
identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Identity theft is not a joke. But yes, apparently, the hair really mattered in Thor. So That
I
was.
mean, it does. Well, no. Don't be sarcastic about it.
Does it matter?
You'd be so sarcastic. It does matter. It absolutely matters. Dear listener, if you're listening right now, I want you to send an email to us or a comment to us on don'tbehero@gmail.com, don'tbeheropodcast@gmail.com, and tell me if it matters or not. Because I know it matters.
Hairman. If there was a superhero hairman or something, and I'd be like,
I'm here, man.
Oh, you're here, man. I'm here.
I'm here, man.
I'm here, man.
Here, man. Anyway, it's we're talking about ridiculous moments and stuff. We've also got used to, and with some reason, used this as a platform for us to embrace our horrendous accents and dialects and impressions, impersonations of certain characters. In the movies that we watched. Which kind of impression? What's your favourite impression? What's the best impression that you've done?
Oh, but hands down, and Instagram agreed, was my Chewbacca impression.
Honestly, mate, can you do it again? Can you do it? It's so good.
Oh, mate, it's what I pride myself on. Shit at everything else in life, but that's what, I pride it.
Honestly.
What about yours, mate?
I think mine's got to be the Michael Caine one. Not because it's so good, but because it's so bad. It's great.
I quite liked your Ultron impression.
Oh, yeah.
You did your Ultron impression. That
No,
was
I
decent.
did.
That was all right.
Oh, yeah, when we did the fan fiction. I do actually miss the fan fiction, actually.
We haven't done fan... Oh, my God. That's a blast from the past. Tell you
Yeah.
what, two things that we haven't done recently. Fan fiction and drinking.
I know, that's true. We have stopped the drinking.
We stopped the drinking ever since my alcohol rant.
I mean, your
stopped.
rant was quite scary when it happened. Okay, and I'm being genuine here. Okay, so it's the dear listener, it's the Ant-Man podcast. Okay, so we review Ant-Man. The comment there was a comment going around that I think it was Forrest's mum. I think was going like, every time you were on the podcast, you seem to be drinking. Are you okay? I got a few people telling me if I was okay because they noticed that I was doing a lot of drinking on the podcast, but I wasn't. Like, it's just the occasional drink, isn't it? And we we made it a thing in the podcast. So with that, Forrest just absolutely lets loose on a rant about disproving that and just completely is basically saying, stick your nose out, out of this business, get your beak out of this. And literally, when you were talking, when you were ranting, I was like, oh shit, I've touched a nerve. Like, I genuinely thought, in
the true alcoholic, I had a full on rant about alcohol. The sheer irony of of my alcoholic rant about alcohol. Yeah.
You've got to listen to it. You've got to go back and listen to that. It is very, very, very funny.
Jesus Christ, that was one hell of a...
But we haven't had a drink in a while, to be fair.
No drinks in a while. No, certainly no fan fiction. You stopped with the fan fiction after...
I know, we did.
After the fairly graphic...
What one was it? Was it Hulk? No, it wasn't...
I feel like
Hulk was involved.
Oh, Hulk was definitely involved. Yeah, Hulk was hulking in all sorts.
It was an Avengers one. It was Ultron, wasn't it?
Was it? No, Ultron wasn't the bad one. I think Hulk. It was.
It was something to do with Black. It was Black Widow and Hulk.
Yes, that's what
it might have been the end of Ragnarok. I don't know. It might have been something like
that. Yeah, it was that. And then we had didn't we have one with Frozen? And I had a little bit of
Captain America and Elsa.
I was slightly worried about the age gap, but we were.
You went, hang on, how old's Elsa? And literally, the blood ran out of my face. It literally ran out of my face, and I went, "Oh my god, is she actually even old enough?" And she is, by the way, dear listener, she is old enough. But there were some. That's why I stopped doing it. I kept finding these bits of fan fiction where it was just so funny, but I didn't read it beforehand. I just found the title, went, okay, cool, go with that.
He didn't do his fucking research.
Fuck me. Honestly, I've learnt my lesson. Well, I do want to do it again, but I want to do it with some good research next time and bring it back.
Oh mate, that was good. I think another highlight for me, not it's not an impression highlight, but a highlight nonetheless, has to be the first the first ever podcast we did together was Guardians of the Galaxy. We were in the same room.
Yes, that was quite special actually, wasn't it?
It's a special moment. It was a very special moment. It was a weird moment because we didn't quite know how to play it.
There's a different thing, isn't there? There in terms of doing it in person, in situ together. There is something when you're doing the podcast, you have to kind of like focus differently and react either quicker or later to the comments that you're making. Trying not to. For me, I found it quite difficult judging when to come in and talk. Basically, yeah.
But it was nice to.
It was nice. Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, it was nice.
Being with you in person, mate, is definitely the thing I'd rather do than just sit here on Zoom chatting to you. I do value your friendship way more than just to limiting ourselves to chatting on Zoom.
Yeah. It's nice. It's always nice. I love the mirror in the background now. I feel like I've made good friends with that mirror in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of plans for 2023, for me, I wanna up my game on the podcasting kind of setup. I don't know. I'm still fighting to find the right room. We thought the shed was going to be it, but as you know, it isn't meant to be because the Wi-Fi connection I just can't get right there. But I will. I want to get a proper podcasting setup.
Setup. We will. I think there's upgrades to have. We can change microphones at some point. Maybe get the even higher quality. Why not? Maybe there's I might change up the sound effects. Might change the theme tune for the podcast.
Actually, speaking of which, in terms of podcasters that might be listening, Forrest, what equipment do we use, and how do we edit? Like genuinely, that might be actually quite a perfect opportune moment to answer.
To do never done one of these types of things before. So what I like to do, everybody, I've got I like to use a Snowball Blue microphone. The quality.
I also have a Snowball Blue. He
also which, by the way, that's another thing. I implore everyone, go and listen to the first episode or first couple of episodes with Matt. You have your headset. You had a headset with the chunkiest mic at the end of it.
Eating the mic as we went on.
Yes, so it's just about Iron Man. Obadiah.
It was just.
K dog, I'd give this half a bag of quavers. But then, by about episode 3, the quality it just immediately improves. But yeah, we use blue Snowball microphones. I edit using Audacity, and we record via Zoom. So it's quite an easy on the setup front.
And you edit. So Forrest edits, which is delightful. So I handle social media stuff and Forrest does the delightful editing.
This is a real insight. It's a
little bit. I just feel like, fuck it, let's just talk about it.
We'll just say, open it up. Matt does, honestly, an impeccable job with the Instagram.
Thanks, my friend.
I think that's my ambition for 23. Get the Twitter back on up to scratch. So Twitter we do have, but it's not used quite as much as our Instagram. But yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, it's nice. We've got a nice little setup now, haven't we? Really,
we have.
I edit, and then Matt has made the brilliant reels. So you'll see our lovely reels on Instagram of both our faces, where I wave, and you can actually see me wave.
It's crazy that, yeah.
And then Matt will move his mouth, and you'll see him move his mouth.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah, fantastic. This is an absolute joy. What's your ambition for 2023, Matt?
Oh my gosh, do you know what my ambition for the podcast is to obviously keep bringing the best content as possible, and I think in terms of doing that, continuing to be as regular as we currently are. I mean, we've been unfortunately a few weeks ago being ill, but unavoidable, but with things like that, just bringing out more content, going to more conventions. I want to see some more listeners. I want to talk to our listeners more. I want us to find more opportunities to do some more collabs as well. Talk to other podcasters, other fellow Marvel, DC superhero, movie reviewers out there. Get talking, get sharing the love. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I concur on the let's have, just keep the consistency of podcasts, which is why we're having a break for 3 weeks after this podcast. But
that's true, we are. Yeah.
But apart from that,
by the way,
we'll go into that in a minute. Absolutely. Were there any more questions on your favourite thing?
There weren't. Other than, do you want to play a game of Would You Rather?
I'd love to play.
Just for fun.
Let's do.
Okay. So, all right, I've put it in the chat for you, so you can have a look as well. But there is, it's on playpartyplan.com. Okay, there's a Marvel Would You Rather. Okay, which I flipping love. Which we'll just do a few rounds because it's one of those games as well. It's the new year. You're going to be playing games over your New Year's, whatever your plans are. You're at probably New Year's Eve parties. You're going to be playing games that you reluctantly don't want to do, but you're going to do anyway. And here we are. We're going to play a game that you probably don't want to hear, but we're going to do it anyway. All right. So, Forrest, you ready for the first one?
That was a brilliant timing to take a swig of your drink there, man.
I wasn't it? I just kind of
midway through the sentence.
I was literally. It was.
So, guys, are you ready to play? Okay then, let's get stuck in.
Oh my god,
Matt's going to be hosting some very long pub quizzes. All
Oh,
right, guys.
I
Question one.
honestly hate to do that.
Oh, would you? I'd love to run a pub quiz. That is what that would be the peak for me. Run a pub quiz.
Okay. I mean, some of these are ridiculous. There's one here that's like, would you rather Green Lantern join the Avengers or Aquaman? And I'm like, why? Neither of those superheroes are particularly bad superheroes. They were just they've been ridiculed universally for no reason.
Yeah.
For partly reasons, but like.
Well, Green Lantern is definitely a reason, but yeah. I've got a question for you. This is a good one.
Oh, okay, go on then.
Would you rather lose your eye like Thor, or like Thor or Nick Fury?
Oh
or
yeah.
Or lose your arm like Bucky?
Would I get Bucky's arm?
Mate, I don't. That doesn't give me that after the question. It doesn't say, "Oh, you will receive Bucky's arm."
If I'm receiving Bucky's arm, then Bucky's arm. If I'm not, then Thor's eye.
What? No, you don't get an eye, mate. It's just saying, would you rather not have an eye or not have an arm, isn't it?
Well, okay, fine.
Fucking hell, this. Yeah, would you either lose your eye like Nick Fury, or would you rather lose your arm like Bucky?
Oh, I see.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
You don't get your choice of what you're fan. Well, yeah, if I get
with that in mind, then, and me actually listening to the question, I'd go for Nick Fury in the eye.
You'd lose your eye. Ooh.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? That's a tough old question, that. I think I'd probably join you on the eye, because you've got one working eye, so you can pretty much, all is good there, isn't it? Not having an arm, I can just, because we don't have a dishwasher, washing up would be a fucking nightmare. Could you imagine? Oh.
Okay, I've got one for you.
Yo.
Would you rather have Thanos for a father or Ego?
Ooh.
It's a good one, that.
I'd rather have Ego, because at least Ego's cool. You know, he's still got a cool dad, even though he's a prick for many reasons. He's still a cool, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also probably means I've got his looks. If I prefer to look like Ego far more than Thanos.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a good one.
What about? Okay, here you go. This is a fun one. Would you rather go to a party with Red Skull or Ultron?
Fucking hell. Do you know what? Red Skull genuinely unsettles me.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember, Red Skull is a massive fascist.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I would definitely rather go to a party with Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
He'll
Get
just,
that James Spader doing the robot 100%.
yeah. He'll just spend the entire time telling you what's going to happen at that party. Though. Well, I
he
know.
would.
I know the world. I know everything that happens.
I love this song.
This song was written in Soviet Russia, and it was. Yeah.
Did you know that this song is an absolute banger? Like, yeah, I could. Yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd dance, and you probably.
It'd be the equivalent of going to a party with Siri.
Yeah, I like that. And for that reason, it's absolutely Ultron. I want to party with Siri.
Oh yeah,
That's for sure. Okay, I got one for you. And this
me
is
up.
genuine. Would you rather wield Thor's Mjolnir or Stormbreaker? That's a good one.
Ooh, it's got to be Monya.
Wow.
Monya.
Not Stormbreaker. I need to know why.
Why not Stormbreaker?
Yeah.
Because I'd be walking around with a fucking massive hammer that like breaks everything.
Is it because Stormbreakers, because it's so big, it's not very accessible?
Yeah. The hammer is just like.
That's going to take too much kind of like space in a lift. Sorry, excuse me.
Is that the first place that you'd be taking it?
Literally, I'd be like, oh beep. Yeah. Oh god, it's full of people. Oh my god, sorry. Yeah, this is Stormbreaker.
If you could just get.
Hold my hammer. Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's heavy.
That'll be floor 4, please. Yeah, up 4. Oh, what floor are we on? 38. Oh, fuck.
Imagine you get like you're going up the lift, you actually drop Mjolnir, and it just goes right down to the bottom.
Oh, mate. Yeah, Monya, 110%. I love that. Would you... Oh, mate, these two... I've got two that are banging. Would you rather listen to Hooked on a Feeling or Mr. Blue Sky?
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yes.
Blue Sky, any day.
Shout. Mr. Blue Sky is an absolute banger. Well,
It's
they're both
such a good one.
bangers, but Mr. Blue Sky is like...
Oh, okay. So let's do one more round, yeah? One more round?
Yeah,
Because this last one I'm going to do is absolutely brilliant and applicable. Would you rather, Forrest,
Oh, yeah.
have Thor's long hair or short hair? There you go. It's on there, and it's number 42.
High on the list. Short hair. Any day of the week. It's always
Short hair, absolutely. Big time.
Can't be dealing with the maintenance of long hair. That's the thing. That's what I've always got a buzz cut. Can't be dealing with the maintenance of long hair, the product that you have to pay for to put it in there. Like, I think everyone in the world, women, men, whatever, everybody, short hair.
Big time.
Don't spend your money on shampoo. Don't spend it on conditioner. Well, shampoo, clean it. Don't clean your hair. For God's sake, clean your hair. People, have a wash.
Well, that's a good little PSA there.
Yeah.
People, wash. Forest 2022.
But trust me, Matt, there are far too many people on this earth who don't consider washing. Or they do wash, but they don't wash often enough. And
That's true.
Trust me, everyone can fucking smell you. All right?
It's disgusting.
Anyone who doesn't have regular washes and thinks that it's okay because you smell all right, you don't. You smell like fucking shit. To sort it out. Anyway, that's my divulge slightly from. Anyway, so question here: would you rather dance like Peter Quill or like Baby Groot?
Oh, it's got to be Peter Quill.
Really?
Peter Quill's dance moves saved the universe.
Baby Groot.
I want those.
Baby Groot every day of the week, mate.
Oh, no. Peter Quill's flipping Billie Jean, going on, and like just going for it. I'm like, yeah, I want to bear that.
Can you please do the again? That is my highlight of 2022. Forget
My voice is
anything
still coming back. Honestly,
forget anything we just talked about. Matt going woohoo.
I can't get up there. Well, I can't. Literally can't get that high. Well, let me try again. Wow, I can't. Wow, I can't. Oh, okay, sorry. I need to stop that. It's going to damage my voice permanently. Oh wow, wow. I mean, wow. I mean, that's Would You Rather, everybody.
That's close.
Okay, well, do you know what? I'm a bit exhausted by this year. This year's been bloody mental.
It's been knackering. It's been a proper knackering year.
I'm out of breath. Oof.
Oh, bloody should be. Woo.
Oof. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for next year. Bring on 2023. Dear listener, thank you so much. Honestly, genuinely, thank you so much for listening. And if you're new, do keep listening. We are going to take a break. We're going to take a few weeks out, and then we're going to come back. And when we're coming back, we're coming out big. We are coming back with Infinity War. Okay, it's one of those movies we've been desperate to talk about, and we're going to crack on with our phases and keep reviewing and keep talking about movies. We'll do some more wild cards. We're going to do some more collabs. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait.
Can't wait. Absolutely buzzing. When are we coming back with Infinity War?
That's a really good question. I have a feeling it might be the 25th of January.
Ooh.
Which is Wednesday, 25th of January, 2023.
So we will be back at the end of January for a whole load more laughs, fun, and comic action. I left that a long pause. I was going to say comic book action, but it's not comic books. These are the films.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait. It's been a pleasure.
A joy.
A pleasure and a joy. And have a super happy new year, Matt.
Happy New Year, you, my friend. Happy New Year, dear listener.
Happy New Year to the listeners as well. We hope your Christmas is good. We hope your New Year's are great. And we'll see you on the other side.
All right, you take care. See you in 2023, folks. Yo, yo, whoop, whoop.